You're listening to The Mineral Way. Pharmacist Ben Fuchs joining myself, Dave Michaels. We're taking your phone calls, text messages, emails, all that stuff. Snail mail, smoke signals, telepathic messages. Ben Fuchs, we will take it all. And then some. Is that right, Ben?
Hey.
Hey.
Is what right?
Did I catch you at a bad time, Ben? You know, we usually do a show at this time.
Are we on?
We're on.
Are you humiliating me in front of my friends?
Oh, no, Ben. Not
Dave.
at all. Not at all, Ben.
I've been waiting for you.
Good to hear
It's a
from
good thing
you,
I
Ben.
wasn't talking to myself.
Yeah, I know.
That would have been embarrassing. Is my sound okay?
Yes, your sound is just fine. Did you just leave it on the lower end, and I can always adjust it from here.
Okie dokie.
But yeah, sounds great, Ben.
Yeah, good to talk to you. Missed you last week.
Oh, I missed you too, Ben.
I was all excited to do our show. You know, I really look forward to this. In fact, I'm going to cancel my next show. I'm going to tell them I'm only going to do it once a month because I love doing this so much, and I can't do both.
Wow, Ben, that's great, dude.
I know.
That's
I love doing this show.
fantastic.
And I love my friends in Santa Cruz, and I heard some bad news today.
What?
The Dave Cave.
Oh, yeah, the Dave
It's closing.
Cave. Yeah, it's going to close, Ben.
I'm so sad. How long has it been around?
The Dave Cave has been around for something like, I don't know, 15, maybe, let me see, my daughter is maybe 15 years, Ben.
15 years, and they're closing it?
Yeah.
Ouch. What are all of your customers going to do?
Well, our customers are going to go to themineralway.com, Ben. That's the way we prefer.
I love it.
Yeah, we prefer for them to go to the Mineral Way anyways. The Dave Cave was more of a convenience thing for the listeners. But now we want you to go to themineralway.com or davemichaels.com. Either one is just fine. And make your purchase there, Ben.
What are the big sellers in the Dave Cave?
Oh, the big sellers by far is the Tangy Tangerine. You know that, Ben. I can't stop talking about that stuff.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, Tangy Tangerine, OsteoFX, Gluco Gel, Ultimate Daily Classic, Sweet Ease. Those are the main sellers. Yeah.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised. I got to tell you, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is stellar.
It's the cat's meow,
like
dude.
it. There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it. And you know what else? There's a couple other products beyond that you mentioned. The Beyond OsteoFX, that's a unique one and stellar. And by the way, the Beyond forgive me if I'm repeating myself here because I talked to so many different groups. In fact, I'm going to be in Texas this weekend talking to a longevity group for Fred Van Loo. I don't know if you know who that is.
No.
And so forgive me if I'm repeating myself here. Did we talk about how the Beyond OsteoFX is multifunctional?
We have not, Ben. That's a fantastic thing to pick up on.
All right. So the core of the body. Have you ever seen the Bodies exhibit at the museum? You know what I'm talking about, the Bodies exhibit?
No, I don't know.
The Bodies exhibit is this museum exhibit where they show you what a body looks like without the skin.
Ew.
And they have all these bodies without the skin.
Uh-huh.
And they show you the different types of bodies. And it's interesting because without the skin, you can't tell if somebody is black or white or Indian or Japanese or, you know, what their racial background is, which is kind of interesting considering we have, you know, this problem with racism in our country. Underneath our skin, folks, we're all connective tissue and muscle tissue. There's no difference. And that's kind of what you see in the Bodies exhibit. But one of the cool things about the Bodies exhibit is you get to see what the body really is made of. You know, when we look at each other, we don't really see what the body's made of. We see the covering. That's called technically epithelia or epithelial tissue. Body's made up of 4 kinds of tissue stuff.
Okay.
You know, tissue is a fancy biological word, but just stuff, 4 types of stuff, 4 different types of stuff. The covering is epithelia or epithelial tissue. The electricity is the nervous tissue. You know, the body's electrical, and the nerves conduct electrical energy, and that's the nervous tissue, and that's the second type of stuff or tissue. And then the third and fourth type of stuff are the bulk, 80%, maybe even more of the body. I call it the flesh robot. And it's the part of us that really does all the work. And if you look underneath the skin and take out the wiring, you'll see this thing that is most of our body. It's the flesh robot. And that flesh robot is largely made up of, it's made up of 2 components, 2 tissues, 2 stuffs, 2 types of stuff, the muscle tissue and the connective tissue. And you know what the colloquial name is for the muscle tissue and the connective tissue?
No.
Steak.
Okay.
Do you like steak?
Yeah, I do like steak.
That's the connective tissue and the muscle tissue of a cow, not of a person.
Right.
If you're a cannibal, it'll be of a person. And you take a cross section of, imagine taking it's kind of gross, I guess, when you think about it, but you take the skin off a cow, and actually, that's what, do you ever see slaughterhouses?
Yeah,
you would need a lot. I
don't
know
wanna see that, man.
exactly. They take the skin off the cow, and you see the flesh robot in between, and then they slice a cross section, and you get a steak. And the nice pink red part is the muscle, and then the gristle is the connective tissue. The muscle is the stuff we eat. That's not really the most nutritious part of the steak. That's not the most nutritious part of the flesh robot. The most nutritious part is the part we throw out, which is the connective tissue. Now, there's nutritional value to the muscle tissue, but there's an incredible amount of nutritional value to the connective tissue. And that's why cultures throughout history have eaten connective tissue, except they didn't eat it necessarily as, this cross-section of a steak. They would eat the tails or the noses or the snouts or the hooves. You've heard of all this stuff, right? Yeah. They would eat the parts of the animal that nobody would want to eat, aside from the organs. They would eat the connective tissue. And the connective tissue is what gives chicken soup its superpower, bone broth its superpower. And in fact, eating connective tissue is one of the healthiest things you could ever do, even if you just ate connective tissue. In other words, cartilage being the most important kind of connective tissue. If you just ate cartilage, and you can get cartilage supplements too. And that's because the connective tissue contains amino acids, the building blocks of protein, that are important for building your connective tissue. And as we age, the thing that we hate the most about the aging process, even though we don't recognize it as such, and I shouldn't say the thing, I should say the things, plural, we hate the most about the aging process, from the wrinkles on the skin to the weakening of the bones, the osteoporosis, to the arthritis and the loss of mobility and the chronic pain issues, to the prolapses and the hernias and the ruptures, all of which are the end result of deterioration of the connective tissue. In fact, even immune suppression is related to deterioration of connective tissue. Even cancer is related to deterioration of the connective tissue. Even heart disease is related to deterioration of the connective tissue. And you can take all the statin drugs from your numbskull medical professional, and as long as your connective tissue is deteriorating, you're running the risk of having cardiovascular disease, regardless of the statin drugs. In fact, the cholesterol deposits that the statin drugs are supposed to prevent are really the end result of deteriorating connective tissue. And they represent the body's attempt to patch up the deteriorating connective tissue. Are you following me here? Mm-hmm. Are you tracking this here?
Yes.
I know there's a lot of stuff. So building and by the way, I just read today how the FDA approved a new twice a year cholesterol drug that you only have to get twice a year. Lequivo. It works with your genetics, or with the genetics that produce cholesterol. Okay. And now you only have to take it twice a day, yay, or twice a year, yay. What does that mean if you only have to take a drug twice a year and it works twice a year? That's a pretty potent drug. So anyway, the cholesterol that everybody's whining about and clutching their pearls about, I'm talking about medical professionals, really represents the body's attempt to fix up deteriorating connective tissue. All of which is to say that anything you do to build your connective tissue is going to accelerate your lifespan, your longevity, and reduce your risk of chronic degenerative diseases and the misery that's associated with aging, from the scoliosis to the osteoporosis to the wrinkles to the heart disease to the vascular disease to the loss of mobility to the joints to your risks for cancer and heart disease. Build your connective tissue. Mm-hmm. And the reason we're talking about this, I didn't just randomly decide to talk about this, is because when we talk about the healthy bone and joint pack, mm-hmm. and when we talk about the OsteoFX, which we just talked about, we're not only talking about building the bones and the joints, which is what the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack does, obviously, right? When you hear the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, you think of, well, obviously, bones and joints. Right. And when you hear the OsteoFX, which is the key, or one of the key components of the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, you think about the bones and joints. But really what these are, all of the nutrients in the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, what the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack is, and what the OsteoFX is, it's connective tissue building, which means it's going to help you with your bones and joints, yes, but it's also going to help you with your blood vessels. It's also going to help you with your heart. It's also going to help you with your skin. It's also going to help you with your fascia, the tissue that holds all your organs in place. It's also going to help you with your gums if you have gum disease. It's going to help you with the entire flesh robot. It's going to add years to your life. The Healthy Bone and Joint Pack is marketed for bones and joints, but it's going to add years to your life. It's going to slow down the aging process. It's going to keep you looking good longer. because it's going to keep your wrinkles at bay. Even just for wrinkles. If you're an esthetician out there, you know what an esthetician is, Dave?
No, man.
An esthetician is a skincare professional.
Okay.
And if you're listening, if you're an esthetician out there listening, or if you're just somebody who wants to take care of your skin, get on the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack and call it, if you're an esthetician, sell the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. In fact, if you're an esthetician out there, call me and Dave and we'll set you up with a longevity account, and you can sell longevity products right out of your esthetician office, and you could sign up under us and we can train you. And that's not, of course, just for estheticians. That's true for anybody.
Yeah, Ben. Boy, you're getting good at this, Ben.
Isn't that cool, though, about the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack?
Oh, totally.
Right?
Yeah.
And that, to me, that's the beauty of nutrition, is that you take it for your bones and joints and you get a better cardiovascular system. You take it for your bones and joints and you get less neuropathies. You take it for your bone and joints and you get less wrinkles. You know what I'm saying? You get these multifunctional benefits. When you go to your, if your medical professional says, oh, your cholesterol is high, we got to put you on Lequivo, or we got to put you on a statin drug or whatever it is, you'd be much better off getting on the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. You won't have to worry about toxicity. You won't have to worry about rhabdomyolysis, which is a side effect from the statin drugs, which is a muscle disease. You won't have to worry about deficiencies in coenzyme Q10. You won't have to worry about standing in line at the pharmacy. You won't have to worry about your insurance companies and doctor's appointments and anything, all the other untoward effects and problems associated with the prescription drug protocol. You'll get your Healthy Bone and Joint Pack drop shipped right on your doorstep every month. And you'll be, in addition to helping your bones and joints, you'll be improving your entire system via the Flesh Robot.
I like it, Ben. 831-479-1080. Ben, I just had somebody stop by and wanted me to ask you about tinnitus. He says...
Why didn't they ask me?
He stopped by. He didn't have time to stick around. He says, sounds
Am
like...
I that intimidating, Dave?
No, Ben, of course not.
What?
He thinks there's swelling in there. Says it sounds like there's cotton in his ears.
That's not tinnitus, cotton in the ears. That could be swelling. Tinnitus is a ringing in the ears.
Okay.
Can you imagine having constant
wee? No. Is that what it is?
Yeah, and sometimes worse.
Is there anything someone can do about that?
No. Well, there is, but there's not something you can do directly. And that gets us to our first principle of healing, which I think we've talked about. And I keep saying that to you because I keep forgetting if I've talked to you about any of this stuff. I'm not going senile. Did we ever talk about the first principle of healing? Where you see the disease is not where the disease begins. Where you see the problem is not where the problem begins. That's the first principle of healing. And violation of that first principle, in a nutshell, accounts for the utter and complete failure that is the modern medical model for helping folks deal with chronic disease. It's a failure because it violates the first principle of healing, which is where you see the problem is not where the problem is. So you have tinnitus, which is, obviously it's in your ears, but it's not an ear problem. And the reason that nobody can do anything about it from the medical perspective is because they're trying to treat it like an ear problem or maybe a brain problem. Now, there are brain issues that can cause things like this because you hear from your brain, not from your ears, right? Mm-hmm. Do you know we see and hear from our brain, not our eyes and ears?
What do you mean, Ben?
Is that interesting? You don't see from your eyes. The eyes just take in light, but then that light gets turned into chemical energy, electrical energy, and then chemical energy, and then back into electrical energy, and it activates parts of your brain. Mm-hmm. All this happens just when you look at something. All you're seeing is just electricity when you're looking at something, but your brain is turning it into your world, whatever you see. Mm-hmm. Likewise with sounds. I'm talking right now. Pretend I was next to you. Forget that we're talking through electricity, through the the airways. But if I'm sitting right next to you, and I'm talking to you. What's happening is my wind is coming from my mouth, and that wind is shaped by my vocal cords. It's coming out in different shapes. You know sound probably. You're a sound.
Yes,
I'm sure
yes.
You're a sound guy, right?
Yeah.
So the sound, the just straight old wind, is coming out in different shapes by my through my vocal cords and my teeth and my tongue and my mouth. And those shapes are going into your ear, and they're hitting hairs in your ear. There's no words going into your ear. There's hairs that are vibrating, and those vibrations are converted into meaning through your brain. So we hear with our brain, we see with our brain, and sometimes if you have tinnitus, if you get hit in the head, or if you have a loud noise, it can cause that problem. Or if there's damage to the ear, the hairs in the ear, that could cause a problem too. But for the most part, tinnitus is an inflammatory condition. Like all chronic conditions, they're inflammatory, and they begin in the blood. And in turn, they begin in the digestive system. Now, if you inject things in through your skin, you can also suffer from some of the same things that people who have blood toxicity from the intestine suffer from. But for most people, the blood toxicity is intestinal. And that's so, so, so important. And, you know, I always feel like when I talk to you or talk to folks, I sound like I'm a broken record with the intestine and leaky gut and dysbiosis and different foods. But listen, that's where it all begins. Hippocrates said it 400 BC or 500 BC, almost 2,500 years ago. He said all disease begins in the gut. And he was right. That's where the blood becomes toxic. It's not so much that the gut is where it starts, but it's because of the blood that becomes toxic following the disturbances in the intestine. Your intestine is a disgusting place. Can you imagine what your intestine looks like? Think of the combination of vomit out of one end and poop out of the other end.
Dang.
I know, exactly. It's not a good place. It's a pretty, if you were a molecule, you wouldn't want to be in somebody's intestine. It's a pretty nasty place. It's dark and it's dripping and it's filled with bacteria. And, the point being, as long as that stuff stays in the intestine, we're okay. But once that stuff gets into the blood, we got a problem. And in fact, I would venture to say more people than not, in this country anyway, have a problem with their blood following a problem with their intestine, even if they don't have a full-blown degenerative disease. But certainly if you have a full-blown degenerative disease, just backtrack to the gut. And this is, by the way, especially important if you're suffering from something like long COVID. Have you heard of this thing called long COVID?
Sure.
Have you heard of this thing called chronic Lyme disease?
Yes.
Right? When you have chronic Lyme disease and you have long COVID following the first principle, the problem ain't the Lyme disease and the problem ain't the COVID. You got to go upstream to where the problem begins, which is in the gut, the intestine specifically. And guaranteed, 100%, anybody who's dealing with a long chronic illness, whether it's COVID or whether it's Lyme disease or it's a degenerative disease, something that's not reversing, guaranteed it's in the intestine and the blood. And people don't want to hear it because we love to eat. I love to eat too. And we love, the foods that are hard on our bodies, the ultra-processed foods, are the foods that we have the hardest, that cause the most distress in the body, and that's what we're subsisting on. Do you know colon cancer rates are like going through the roof for young people?
I've heard that, Ben.
Right?
Yes.
And doctors are mystified. What the heck could be going on? Any guesses? And I'm being facetious here, obviously, but here's the thing. When you have this gut problem that we're talking about, this leaky gut issue where toxicity gets into the blood, guess what else you have?
What?
Malnutrition.
What?
Yes, because the intestine absorbs nutrients. So once the intestine is inflamed, not only do you have this issue with toxicity in the blood, but then you have to deal with malnourishment.
Wow.
Do you remember, you're too young to remember this, but there used to be this thing called Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Oh, of course, Ben.
Do you
of course
remember?
I remember that? Yes.
No, you don't remember that, do you? Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you have Rock'em Sock'em Robots?
Yes.
Do you remember the 1-2 punch? They hit you in the top, they hit you in the front, and they hit you underneath.
Oh, I hate that.
It's the 1-2 punch, and that's what happens in the intestine. You get a 1-2 punch. Punch number one, you got toxicity. And when I say toxicity, I'm talking about bacteria. I'm talking bacterial particles. I'm talking about secretions of immune chemicals and histamine, inflammatory chemicals, the same histamine that causes weepiness of the eyes and snottiness of the nose. It gets into the blood, wreaks havoc, causes all kinds of inflammatory problems. You get literal food particles that get into the bloodstream, little pieces of proteins called peptides, things like gluten, allergens and antigens from vegetables. They all get into the blood. You can imagine the blood has to be pristine, and now you've got. I always think of when I was a kid growing up. They had a Lake Erie in Cleveland. I think it was Cleveland or somewhere in Ohio. It caught fire. Do you remember this?
I've heard of that. Yes.
I don't know if it was Lake Erie. It was one of the lakes out there, Cayuga Lake, or one of the lakes in Ohio caught fire, and it turns out that they had a sewage dump into the lake. They had a pipe that was dumping sewage into the lake. And so, of course, the lake got so polluted, it caught fire. That's kind of what I'm talking about. That in a small way, in a microcosmic way, is what's happening inside the body. You've got a pipe of sewage going into the blood, and the blood catches fire. And that fire is called inflammation. Inflammation. Get it? Inflammation. It's catching fire.
We got a bunch of phone calls, Ben. We got to get to these calls, dude.
Okay, let's do it.
So let's get to PJ. She's calling from Orinda. You're in the air, PJ.
PJ. Where's PJ?
Hello.
Hi, PJ. Where's Orinda?
Hi. We're just on the other side of the tunnel from Berkeley.
Oh, okay, nice.
Berkeley.
Berkeley, right? What's going on? And by the way, it's nice to have some female blood here. We always got guys calling. Nice to have some women.
Do you want to talk more about the intestines, or do
Yeah.
you want to go to the eyes? What do you want to do?
I want to talk what you want to talk about because this is about you, PJ.
Okay. I'm going to tell you a little story about real quick.
Yeah.
I'm really hip on what you were saying about the intestines and how important it is, because I recently had a case of pinworms.
Okay.
And those things had multiplied so heavily in my intestines that they were sucking out. I eat broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, a lot of fish. I eat really good, and yet my blood panel showed that I was completely malnutritioned.
Wow.
My skin was drying up. I was looking really old.
You were feeding the pinworms.
All over my body.
You were feeding the worms.
What?
You were feeding the worms.
I was feeding the worms, and the worms were letting me have the little bits of cake or ice cream or something that
They probably
I would,
told you.
You know.
They may have even told you. You know, sometimes these parasites and bacteria can tell you what to eat. They biochemically direct you to certain foods. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, they'll tell you what to eat.
They took over my life. They were making me weak.
Wow.
I thought I was dying.
Any ideas how you got it?
Well, this is kind of creepy, but there was a homeless guy, and he was using my oleander bushes for his bathroom.
Oh no! Oh
and
no, that's
so
disgusting.
he was crouching down in my yard and leaving what I thought was the neighbor's dog do, but you know, dogs don't carry that stuff. It's human intestinal worms only.
Hey, you know you can eat those pinworms. A lot of pinworms are sometimes spread by eating them.
Well, their eggs float up in the air.
The eggs,
and
right?
You can get one to land in your mouth or
Absolutely.
your nose, and they know how to make it to the intestines.
Oh yeah, they do. Oh yeah, that's interesting how they do that.
It's weird. Okay.
It's kind of weird, right? Is it weird to have them in you? I bet.
It's very weird.
I bet it's weird to be carrying them. I bet it's weird to be carrying them in you. Did they when you had?
Yeah,
I don't want to be gross here,
but it was colitis or something.
Did you see them in your stool?
Know what it was.
Could you see them in your stool ever? Do you ever see them in your stool?
I never saw them, but to tell you the honest God truth, I thought I was not digesting the copious amounts of nuts I like to eat.
Wow. And what did you do?
So when I was cleaning in the shower, I would feel something, but I thought it was the nuts. Okay, so I didn't know.
Did they give you mebendazole? What did they give you to kill them?
Yeah, yes, they did. Finally. Yeah. But, you know, I was trying to eat, garlic and stuff. But I found out later on all that did was keep the females from laying the eggs. But by that time, there was so many of them in me.
Oh, my God.
You know,
I've seen them. I've seen them in stool. They actually, David, you'll love this. They actually look like little spaghetti things, and they move, and they wiggle and stuff in the stool.
Yeah, well, that's what I came to find, that they were like very small thread.
Yeah, like thread, like exactly. And they wiggle and they move, and it's pretty creepy, like you said. But you know what? That's the world we live in. And you know, if you look, did you ever look at a pinworm under like one of those, like a picture of them with magnification? They have.
This is the kicker. I'm blind.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was wanting to know if you wanted to talk about eyes.
Oh, about eyes. Are you born congenitally, or?
No. This is a new thing. In 2004, I told a gal that please be careful with the dilation solution. That I was sensitive, and she decided to put 5 drops in one eye and 4 in the other.
Oh my God!
And when I was sent out of the office, they didn't put the glasses on me, and we had 11:30 sun, and it went right in and burnt my retinas.
Oh my God! How long ago was this?
Immediately, it was like watching a pane of glass all the way around just shatter.
How long ago was this?
2004.
And you're completely blind?
No, what happened too is my family has a propensity towards retinitis pigmentosa.
Okay.
And the other side, macular degeneration.
Okay. And so, well, they don't have propensity, but that's another story. I mean, there's reasons for that.
Well,
there's no propensities. But go ahead. I want to hear how this.
Well, it's a genetic propensity then.
There ain't no genetic propensity. That's nonsense.
Oh,
but,
okay.
No, but
Okay,
go ahead. I want to hear the story. I don't want to digress here. I want to hear what happened.
Oh, okay. So it's been a long, and I also have had 22 accidents with my eyes, including skewering my eye on.
All right, I don't want to get too gross. You're going to make me sick
the
here.
other day.
No, I don't want to hear any grossness. So do you find your other senses have picked up? Like your smell
My
or
other
your
senses
touch?
were extremely keen, but I'm not sure because they were so keen prior,
I got it.
or that the deterioration has been so slowly.
How old are you?
How
old are you?
Possibly.
How old are you?
I wouldn't notice.
How old are you?
Oh, do I really have to say that to the world?
Yeah, the whole world's going to hear you. All millions and millions of listeners.
Yeah, they're all going to hear me.
And they're all
okay.
gonna...
71.
You just don't even like saying it, probably. And I can relate. I'm 65, and I don't like saying it.
Yeah, I don't look it either. I just was told the other day that I look 25 years younger. So
well, good for you.
think that we have good genes in my family, but also
what's with you and your genes?
Correctly.
You got to stop talking about the genes. It's your life, not your genes. You got a good life. You're doing the right things.
Okay.
You're doing the right things.
Yes, I'm trying to be a good girl. I am not doing things I know are harmful too much anyway. I do like chocolate, dark chocolate.
You don't like chocolate. You know what you like? Sugar and fat and cocoa. Because chocolate is really nasty. Do you ever have Baker's chocolate? You know what that is for making?
Nasty.
Isn't it nasty? Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
We don't like chocolate.
That.
We like sugar and fat and chocolate. That's what
Well,
when they invented that. When that was like one of the most important inventions in the history of man, was the figuring out how to add just the right amount of sugar and fat and cocoa to make chocolate.
Yeah.
And like, who doesn't like that, right? Like, do you ever see?
Well, yeah, kind of. You're right about it, because I'm going to confess that I'm eating the 72 chocolate because I can stand it and it crunches.
What is that?
It keeps me from eating the other fatty stuff.
What is the 72 chocolate? I don't know what that is. Oh, the 72%.
72%.
Okay, gotcha.
Cocoa.
Yeah.
And probably like only 3 grams of sugar in the whole thing.
Don't beat yourself up. You're getting some good nutrition. It's not, there's better ways to get your nutrition, but it's not like it's a junk food, like, cotton candy or
Thank
Cheetos
you for that,
something.
because that's exactly, I'm using it as a shield or deterrent from eating ice cream, cheesecake, and all the things that I have loved all my life.
Cheesecake's a problem.
But I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah,
it's
have some
not
chocolate.
Helping my eyesight.
That's true,
what
too.
What little is left,
That's true.
I want it.
Yeah, diabetics are much more prone towards blindness, towards macular degeneration. That's why when you were talking about the genetic component, and you said your parents had a predisposition, probably they were doing things that they didn't know that would cause that kind of problem. And sugar is one, like you said, sugar is one of the causes. Tell me, I didn't catch your name. Well, Dave did not introduce us. Dave, what's your problem over there? Dave's gone. Who am I speaking to?
PJ.
This is PJ.
PJ, that's right. You did tell us. Well, that's a great story, PJ. God bless you. Good luck with your eyes.
Thank you for the call, 831-479-1080. Ben, I got to get to a commercial here, otherwise we're just not going to have any time.
Go.
So we're just going to take a 2-minute break. We'll be back on the other side with your phone calls, text messages, and emails. Looking for a better way to take charge of your health and maybe even your income? Then listen up, because themineralway.com is your one-stop destination for world-class longevity products and a powerful business opportunity. At themineralway.com, you can order the same high-quality supplements featured on the Mineral Way podcast, trusted by thousands and shipped to customers across the U.S. and other countries around the world. And these aren't just any products. They're designed to support energy, clarity, mobility, all the things that help you live better, feel better, and stay active no matter your age. page. But here's where it gets really exciting. You can also become a distributor. When you enroll through themineralway.com, your sponsors, also known as your upline, are none other than pharmacist Ben Fuchs and me, Dave Michaels. That means you're not on your own. You'll get expert training, a full library of support materials, and your very own professional website all ready to go. You can run your entire business from your home computer, smartphone, or landline. No employees, no building to rent, no overhead, just you helping others, building a business, and creating a future. And if you're the kind of person who listens to the show, you already get it. You care about your health, you care about people. That makes you the perfect candidate to start your own business. Imagine setting your own hours, working with a team that wants to see you succeed, and waking up each day knowing that you're making a difference for yourself and for others. Plus, you can go at your own pace. Whether you want to earn a little extra on the side or go full time, you're in control. No pressure, just real support and real opportunity. And here's the kicker. It's your business. You can pass it on to a family member or even sell it down the road. So whether you're looking to improve your health, build something meaningful, or add new income stream, it's all waiting for you. There is a better way, themineralway.com. That's themineralway.com. Check it out today.
You're listening to KSCO, serving freedom, Hunter Liggett, and Jamesburg.
479-1080. That's how you get a hold of us. You can also interact at themineralway.com. But we are live every Monday from 5 p.m. Pacific to 6 p.m. Pacific. And if you want to get on board, you want to give us a call, 831-479-1080 is the phone number. If you wish to send a text message, that number would be 831-218-5726. You can email kscodave@gmail.com, or again, go to themineralway.com and submit your questions there. Ben Fuchs, are you ready? I'm ready, Dave. Ben?
Hey, who's that?
That's you. Well, you weren't answering me, so I
can't. Are we on again?
Yeah, we're on, yeah.
I can't hear you for some reason.
Oh, well, okay.
I just hear you.
All right. Well, here I am, Ben.
Well, I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to hear you. Hey, listen, when we do our, those health nuggets, can we do them on video? Can I do them on video?
I guess we could. I don't know how we would do that unless we did Skype and I recorded it from there.
No. I could give you the audio files, but we'll talk about it.
Okay, all right.
Later.
Let's see what. Who is up first? Anthony? Anthony calling from Watsonville. You're in the air, Anthony.
Anthony.
So I had a question, Ben.
Yes, sir. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah. So it seems that every president, like after their term, they like age like super fast, right?
Why? No,
like,
during their term. During their term, they age.
Yeah. Right. So under your estimation, like how many years do you think they lose from their life because of that? Because of
the job.
Really?
The stress of the job.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
I don't know the number, but Jimmy Carter lived to be in his 90s, and you know what he did? He was a very giving, generous, loving Christian man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he built houses, he traveled, he had foundations, he went to Africa. I mean, he dedicated his life to service. And, while service sounds, I hope it doesn't, but, I think some people might think it sounds kind of corny and, do-goody kind of thing.
What a loser.
Yeah, kind of, right? But what it does is it activates the parasympathetic nervous system. And that's this nervous system of healing and anti-aging. Jimmy Carter, in his 90s, had melanoma of the brain. Did you know this, Dave?
Dang.
Melanoma of the brain. He was like 94 or something when he got it. And he cured himself? He cured it. He reversed it. He ended it. And he lived another 5 years. And he was in his 90s, and he had melanoma of the brain. Melanoma being one of the most serious of all the cancers, and it was in his brain. And he was in his 90s, and he reversed it. And that's, I believe,
so by giving, your brain releases like endorphins.
Exactly. Not necessarily endorphins, but molecules like that. That's why they give you service dogs. So you can take care of a dog. It helps your anxiety if you have PTSD. They give you a service dog. Or, helping when we help somebody who's a homeless person, we activate our own oxytocin and our own biochemicals of healing, and we tell our nervous system, our sympathetic nervous or stress nervous system, to stand down, and it builds your immunity. When in the Bible, when it says, love your neighbor as you love yourself, that's in your interest. When you love your neighbor, you're loving yourself. That's what it means. Love your neighbor as you love yourself, to me, means love your neighbor because you're loving yourself. When you love your neighbor, you're helping yourself. And conversely, when you're angry at somebody, Anthony, when you're ticked off at somebody, who do you hurt? You. Your cortisol goes up.
It does the opposite effect, huh? Like the
The
opposite
other person
effect.
doesn't care. Your cortisol goes up. Your blood pressure goes up. Your immune system is suppressed.
So when I piss off Dave over politics,
Dave is losing. Dave's losing. Yeah, Dave's pissed off.
Okay.
What are you talking politics with Dave?
Oh, dude, this guy Anthony is so backwards on his politics, man.
Is he?
Oh man.
Hey guys, thank you very much.
Thank you, Anthony.
Take it easy.
831-479-1080, 218-5726. Let's head out to the phone lines again, Ben, and
Yes, sir.
see what Craig has to say. He's calling from Campbell. You're in the air, Craig.
What's up, Craig?
Yeah, thank you. Hi, I appreciate you taking my questions all the time and stuff. And hey, Dave, I want to ask. I got a few questions. You could go through them quick, maybe. Why are you just so busy with the radio station that you're not doing this for a while? But shutting down the Dave Cave.
Yeah, we're going to be taking a break from sales for the foreseeable future, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's an excellent thing for all the distributors in our area. It is fantastic news. If you want to start your own business, boy, I tell you what, now is the time to do it.
There's a lot of
But
customers.
You're still going to be, you're going to be still. You say you're going to still sell online, Dave. You said your
Yes.
name.com.
Yes,
Okay.
themineralway.com or davemichaels.com. They'll take you to the same place.
So for
The farmers,
real quick, let's say something real quick. So, Dave, so for the people who were buying in the Dave Cave, now they're going to go to the distributors.
That's what we want them to do, yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's going to be great for the distributors. I'm sorry, Craig.
Yeah. Okay. Go on to this tangy tangerine I keep in the refrigerator because I figure it's like food grade. It's almost like a food product. I mean,
It is.
I know it's powder, so you think it's better that I keep that in the refrigerator?
Let me tell you something about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. One of the really cool things about it is its stability. It's incredibly stable. Now, after a couple years, you probably want to, you don't want to keep it more than a couple years, but for a couple years, it's super stable. You don't need to refrigerate it. Refrigeration is, it's not a bad idea, but I don't know that you're going to notice much of a difference. It's super duper stable.
Okay, and then the osteo, you were talking about that. Now, I have the collagen peptide that I get from you guys. Now, versus the osteo, I wonder...
No, there ain't no versus. That's interesting. When anybody ever says that to me, I think of baseball. You like baseball, Craig?
Yeah.
No? Do you like baseball?
Yeah,
Do you like basketball?
Yeah,
what sport?
Yeah, they're all good.
Okay, so baseball. What's if I have a third baseman, do I need a shortstop? Maybe I don't need a shortstop. I have a third baseman. I don't need a shortstop. What's more important, the third baseman or the shortstop? I only want one. Of course, that's ridiculous, right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not. They're all important, and they're all a team, and it's like you need, just like you have 9 players on a baseball field, you need 90
Okay, let me ask you this then about the collagen versus the osteo, about the joints and the connective tissues. How do they compare on that?
Yeah, okay, that's a good question. The collagen are the building blocks. The osteo are the activators. Now, there is some building blocks in the osteo, but I'm just generally speaking, the osteo are the micro. There's a distinction between macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are big nutrients, macro, and micronutrients are small nutrients. Macronutrients go into construction, and micronutrients go into activation, into chemistry. They're both important. You need to have bricks, and you need to have bricklayers. The micronutrients are the bricklayers, and the macronutrients are the bricks. You need them both. Now, I'm being slightly simplistic because there's overlap. It turns out the collagen peptides also function as bricklayers, and there's components in the OsteoFX that function as bricks. But generally speaking, for simplicity's sake, you have bricklayers, which are in the osteo, and you have bricks in the collagen peptides. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I
you can't make you can't make the collagen without the bricklayers, without the micronutrients, the calcium, the magnesium, the vitamin D, and such, and you can't make the tissue without the bricks. And you're getting the bricks from the peptides, and you're getting the brick layers from the micronutrients in the Healthy Bone and Joint pack, we'll say.
Okay, let me ask you this. I'm pushing 70. I mean, what do most old people? They need more. What do you think if they had to pick between the two products? What's going to help them more?
The collagen peptides or the Healthy Bone and Joint?
Yeah.
Healthy Bone and Joint pack. Collagen peptides are the healthy the collagen peptides. I'm not marginalizing them. I'm not dismissing them. They're good and they're important. But you just asked me, what's more important, a third baseman or shortstop? Shortstop.
Well, for a guy, for somebody in there,
shortstop,
70 and older.
Healthy Bone and Joint pack.
Okay, well maybe I'll get that next time from you guys then. Yeah, okay, I'll let somebody else go on.
All right, Craig, good to talk to you, man.
Thank you for the call, Craig.
Take care, buddy.
831-479-1080. Paul in Wisconsin, you're in the air.
Wisconsin,
Yeah.
What's going on, Paul?
Hi, guys.
You got to get me another
I
job
had
in
a-
Wisconsin. Meg left. She
I had a
left.
concern. Pardon me?
I say Meg left. You remember Meg? I was doing the show in Wausau.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Meg left. All right, I guess that doesn't mean a lot to you there, does it, Paul?
I know you did appearances on WSAU.
SAU.
Out of Wausau.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that, no.
Okay. All right, go
I
ahead.
don't listen to that station all that much. But I had a concern with the Dave Cave closing now. In the past, when I've ordered the longevity products, I'd have, because of my eyesight, I'd have friends write a letter to whom this may concern. I'd like to order whatever, and then I make the money order out to ZBS Radio, and then the envelope, outside envelope, KSCO 2300 Portola Drive, Santa Cruz 95062. So now I'd have better luck either the mineralway.com or davemichaels.com.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yes.
Okay. And the prices of everything are on, everything's listed, I hope? Yes?
Yep, everything's listed there. Yes, sir.
Okay. God bless you. That's all I
God
need
bless
to
you.
know.
Thank you,
Paul.
Paul.
Take care, buddy.
And that's a great question too, Ben, because there's explanations and ingredients, directions, everything online. If you go to themineralway.com or davemichaels.com, you will find all that information. Let's see
Did you do the Mineral Way yourself?
Yes.
You're a talented guy, man. That's a heck of a website.
Oh, well, thank you, Ben. It's very simple. I kept it very simple, a little bit of flashiness, but it is very simple and very practical. It will give you what you want very simply, very easily, themineralway.com. Let's see what Katie has to say. She's calling from Watsonville. You're in the air, Katie.
Hi,
Hi,
Katie.
Ben. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Good to talk to you.
Good. I grew up hearing your voice, so it's kind of weird.
You
talking
grew up
to
hearing my voice?
Yeah, my dad's always put you on the radio since I was really little.
How old are you now? You're like in your 20s?
I'm 25. I'm 25.
Nice. I love the young blood. You're
Yes,
you're an alpha or a Gen Z?
I honestly have no
You don't
idea.
know. Okay, go ahead.
No, I don't.
Okay.
So I have a question. It's more related to gut, skin, eczema, and stuff.
Okay.
So growing up, I had eczema just like all the time.
Okay.
And when I was 15, I cut out wheat for an entire year.
And?
Because it seems like when I'd eat more wheat, it would flare up. And it went away completely.
Nice.
It never came back. So
Nice.
after a year, I started eating wheat again, and I was fine. So I was like, oh, I guess it's gone.
Okay.
And I still don't have it to the levels that I used to have. But for the last 4 or 5 years, every winter, I just get some on my hand, on my right hand.
Okay.
And it might be more of the I think dyshydrotic eczema is what it's
Okay.
called. Or
Got it. Like it's dry because it's dry, in other words, in the wintertime?
Yeah, and it's just really itchy sometimes.
Yeah. You want some
but
ideas?
It usually just goes away.
Let me give you.
I have a theory that I have a wheat problem, but I just don't know. And so let me just quickly say, 2 years ago, I lived in a studio. We found out there was a lot of mold in it, growing on the walls. And so I remember that year it was especially bad on my hand. And it lasted way longer than it normally does. And then last year was fine. It went away pretty quickly. This year, we once again actually were in another house that had mold issues, pretty bad mold issues. And this year, it's probably the worst I've ever seen it. It hasn't gone away,
Really?
whereas it normally goes away in the spring. So I was wondering, if cutting out wheat,
Well, there's quite a few
does that
things
go
here.
away?
I can't tell you exactly. That's not a bad idea to do that, especially considering your your history. But there's other things too that you want to cut out, and there's other things you want to do. Are you supplementing?
Yeah.
Are you taking fats? That's the most important thing. Fats.
Like
fatty vitamins,
oil?
No. Okay, I'll tell you. But generally, if they're fatty vitamins, there's fatty, essential fatty acids, and fatty minerals. Those are your three main types of fats. There's other fats too from plants and vegetables and such, but the main three are coming from vitamins, minerals, fatty minerals, and also essential fatty acids. So first and foremost, you said fish oil. There's no essential fatty acids in fish oil, but fish oil is good. So I would get, if you're not doing it already, I would get on the ultimate.
Cod liver oil. Sorry, I should have.
Cod liver oil is the best. When you say fish oil, when you see fish oil, that could be any fish. Cod are a cleaner fish. All the fish are problems these days, but the North Atlantic cod tend to be the cleanest. And that has to do with how the oceans are. So you want to look for North Atlantic cod if you're going to do cod liver oil. And then also, it's not just, there's no omega-3 fatty acids. There's no omega-3 essential fatty acids in fish liver oil, fish oil. So you want to make sure that you're getting some EFAs, essential fatty acids. And I would take cod liver oil for sure, and I would take the ultimate EFAs. And then I would do fatty vitamins, particularly A and D, which are especially important. And then also zinc and selenium are two very important minerals. They're handled by the fats in the body. I'd be doing all those. And then laying off wheat is definitely not a bad idea. Wheat is not a great food. It does have some good stuff in it, for sure, if it's whole and organic and all that. But for the most part, that's not how we eat our wheat. And it's a huge, huge underappreciated health problem.
Okay. And if you have time, I have one more question.
Yeah, sure.
I'd like to add on to that. So, unfortunately, I don't have my gallbladder anymore.
Well, there you go.
What'd
you do to your gallbladder? What happened to your gallbladder? They took it out.
Yeah, so it was really bad. I didn't even know I had gallstones, and then I started having these bad attacks. And
Listen, I'm going to run out of time. I'm going to tell you something very important. What was your name? Kathy, you said? I forgot.
Katie.
Katie. Listen, Katie, you're young, and that's definitely in your favor. Because you can do a lot of things to make sure you don't run into problems, but you have to do a lot of things to make sure you don't run into problems, especially with your female issues, first of all. I don't know if you have them already, but if you don't start paying attention, you will have female health issues. And then also, you're gonna have your skin's gonna age much faster than it should. Yeah, if you don't start taking care of yourself. And in fact, that might be related to the eczema. The gallbladder is unspeakably valuable. It should only be removed for anybody who's considering it. Obviously it's too late for you, but for anybody considering it, listening to it, last resort, like cancer or something of the gallbladder, God forbid, which is a horrible cancer. But other than that, you don't ever want anybody to take out your gallbladder. And the medical folks will say, oh, you don't need it. Baloney. You need it, and you need it badly. It's a major, major player in the hormone system, in the detoxification system, in the digestive system. It's just in the cardiovascular system. There's so many places where the gallbladder plays a role in biological health that for a healthcare professional or medical professional to say, you don't need it, we'll just take it out, we'll just give you enzymes, give you bile, whatever that is beyond irresponsible. It's almost malicious, borderline malicious, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, my situation was not great, so it was not.
You had stones, right?
Yeah,
I heard you say
stones.
So you had some metabolic issues, though. Well, you didn't have a gallbladder issue. You had a metabolic issues, chemistry issues.
Yeah, that was definitely the root, but it just escalated to where I was getting drawn to.
Well, you sounds like you like health stuff. You should be a healthcare. You should get into health. Why don't you join us in longevity? Where do you live? In Santa Cruz?
In Watsonville.
Dave?
Ben?
I think we got ourselves a winner here.
Oh, yes.
You want to be part of our team, Katie? You want to learn about this stuff?
My dad's basically part of your team, so...
Who's your dad?
Rory.
Rory's your dad?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We love Rory.
Oh, no.
We love Rory. That's your dad? Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
Well, he's an awesome guy.
And he did not want me to get my gallbladder out.
I'm sure he didn't. Oh, that's great. Tell Rory we said hi.
I will.
Thank you for the call, Katie.
Good to talk to you, Katie.
8-3, we got one more, Ben. Let's see if we can fit him in. I think it's Steve.
We got multiple generations we're dealing with here now. Rory and his daughter.
You're in the air.
Hey, Ben.
Hey.
I've got a brother with ALS.
ALS
is cure?
Don't say that word.
Yeah, we can't say that
There
word.
ain't no cures. Cure is magic. We ain't talking magic. Why don't you say?
Okay.
Why don't you say? Is that reverse?
He needs magic.
He needs some magic. No, let's say reversal. Not say cure. We'll say reversal. Reversal science cures magic. We don't do magic. We do science. Reversing, yes,
Right.
absolutely. Absolutely, you can slow down the progression and reverse it. Why? And I don't know how progressed he is. The more progressed he is, the harder it's going to be to get it going the other way. But you can definitely begin the process within a day. I mean, in a day, you can begin the process. I'll give you an example. Between cigarettes, your lungs heal, right? Between assaults on the body heals. ALS is an assault on the body, is the end result of an assault on the body. That assault comes from toxicity, as we've been talking about, but there's also nutritional issues, malnourishment, as we talked about as well. So by a combination of eliminating the source of toxicity and getting on good nutrients, not only will you very likely begin to slow down his progression and have him feeling better, which is really the goal here, but you can definitely start the reversal process depending on how far down the rabbit hole he is, as I said. I would love to help him, and he can call or email us at the Mineral Way, and we can reach out to him. Dave, we can do that, right?
Yep.
Or why don't you put him on the show? We're going to run out of time here. We only have a minute. So why don't we come back, visit with us next week, and we'll take your question, and maybe your brother can be on.
When this Saturday?
Next Monday.
When are you on again? Next month?
Yeah, next Monday. And I also do a Zoom call, if you're interested, on Fridays, dailywithdoc.com. And I'm also going to be on, I have another podcast, video cast, I guess you call them, at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock Eastern, 10 EST tonight, which is 7 your time.
He's pretty far along. You're talking about putting...
You want him to feel better. You want him to feel better, and he can feel better. I don't know if you're going to, like you say, cure, but you're going to have him feel better. That's the most important thing. Thanks for your call.
Thank you for the call, Steve. 831-479-1080. Thank you, Ben, for joining us.
Thank you, Dave. It's been wonderful as always, and we'll talk to you next Monday. And then call me so we can talk about those little health nuggets.
You got it, Ben.
All right. Take care, buddy. Bye.
See ya. You're listening to The Mineral Way. Pharmacist Ben Fuchs joins us here every Monday, unless there's some unforeseen circumstance. Every Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, you can get a hold of us at 831-479-1080. You can text 218-5726, email kseodave.com, or go to davemichaels.com and interact there if you want to sign up. That's very simple, davemichaels.com or themineralway.com. It's coming up on, well, who cares what time it is. We'll see you next week, kids.
Want better health and a better income? At themineralway.com, you can start your own home-based business. No inventory, no pressure. Just powerful health products, real support, and a business you can run from your computer, smartphone, or landline. When you enroll, you'll get your own personal website, access to exclusive training materials, and private video calls with health expert Ben Fuchs. This is a real business with real benefits, including the ability to take advantage of tax deductions available to business owners. Whether you're looking for part-time income or a whole new direction, this is your chance to feel better and earn smarter. Visit themineralway.com or call 831-218-5726. That's themineralway.com or 831-218-5726. Your health, your business, the Mineral Way to a better life.
Buster, is that you? You're moving like a pup on espresso. What gives?
Thanks. Just keeping up with my routine, some light jogs, a few unauthorized trash inspections, and started taking Arthrodex.
Arthrodex? Is that one of those new chew toys with Bluetooth?
Nah, it's a supplement from Longevity. It's loaded with vitamins, minerals, amino acids, even stuff to keep my joints moving like they used to.
So, it's like a multivitamin, but it actually tastes good?
Exactly. My coat's shinier, I'm springier than ever, and the stairs don't mock me anymore.
Man, I've been getting winded halfway through Squirrel Patrol.
Tell your human to go to themineralway.com. That's where mine gets it. Easy peasy.
Done. I'm one biscuit away from entering the Zoomy Olympics.
Give your pets the nutritional support they deserve with Arthrodex from Longevity, because staying active, happy, and healthy never goes out of style. Available now at themineralway.com.